All right. What is up? Welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tink Kramer. I'm with Will, Peppa MD, and we got Brian here today with us, helping us out with this blockbuster, record-breaking, freaking breaking the internet, taking over the world, new Marvel movie, Spider-Man, No Way Home. Look at he's already read up on it.
You got the
I've been reading.
Oh, I'm like dick. You got all the knowledge. I love it.
Yeah,
So excited.
we've been waiting, like all of us have been waiting for this day for, my God, so long. I mean, ever since they announced it was like literally like years at this point, you know?
Yes.
It was so funny. I was getting nervous. I was like in the movie theater. It was Thursday. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm getting hot. Like I'm getting sweaty. This is crazy.
So even always coming in best movie ever. Yeah.
That's a
So
big
if anybody watching, go check us out on YouTube. There's a poll up, and you can give your rating of No Way Home. But yeah, so this is gonna be a little bit different episode. We're not gonna do a trailer because I don't think anybody needs to see a trailer. So you know, we already saw every single trailer. Everything. I mean, we so it's done. But since there's so much about this and so many people still haven't seen it or still want to see it and stuff like that, we're gonna talk spoiler free for a little bit and then do our rating, and then we're just gonna get straight into spoilers and all that good stuff. So yeah. Yeah, Ole, I almost waited I waited almost 3 hours to get tickets. Was that the first day when it opened
That was
up?
the first
like,
day. Yep.
That Monday,
And the
whatever.
website
Sunday.
started crashing. All that. Yeah, it got really hectic.
Oh yeah. Oh
Almost
yeah.
as bad as trying to get like a PS5. I swear.
There's some movies that like I remember when the first Star Wars, the first episode 7, Force Awakens, kind of the same
Force
thing.
Awakens.
Like I was on the internet for hours trying to get tickets. But man, let me bring this up so we know. So we're not doing spoilers right now, so everyone knows.
Not yet.
How do we do that?
Yeah,
I feel like an whole enemy.
I like that. I think Will need to come up a little bit.
I can come up.
All
No.
right, come down. But yeah, I like that. It looks pretty good. I don't know if it's not too bad. So I got space. I can back up. So no spoilers. We're gonna stay away from spoilers. What do you guys think about the movie? Godspeed, Spider-Man.
You go first, Brian.
That's
Guest of honor. You want to let us know what you
Oh,
thought?
so the movie itself was so well put together. I felt like we talked about like the beginning was nicely put. It was a continuation, and then they had. I felt like they had a lot of stuff hit us. You know, a lot of fan service hitting you a lot at the beginning. It was so kind of make it kind of. I was just all over the place for a little bit. And a lot of stuff hitting you, and then but the end, that end is like in-game end. Like it's that good. It's that good. Like I don't think it's as a movie. I think it's the second or third best Marvel movie I've ever seen. Like I mean, it's right like 2, 3 of ever. So
All Marvel, everything. So you're talking about movies and TV shows. It's that good. You put it up there with them. Wow.
I'll put it like second or third against everything.
Okay. What about you,
Yeah,
Kramer? What do you think?
I'm right there too. I mean, obviously, I don't want to give away our ratings yet, but I mean,
Right.
it's gonna be kind of hard to. This is better than Endgame. Oh man, I
don't know if
know.
the story is as strong as Endgame because Endgame wrapped up so many character arcs, and this is still only one character arc, and it gave us other things.
Yeah,
But it's still only one character arc. Endgame wrapped up like 7 character arcs. Well, that just shuts things down. So it's like you can't compare it. You can compare it, but you really can't. It opened a lot of new doorways, but didn't close as much as Endgame, and that's what Endgame is. I think still number 1.
yeah. It was like the bookend to the first 20 something movies. You know, it was like this one was definitely the ending of this trilogy. You know, the No Way trilogy or the Home trilogy, whatever they're calling it, because the first one was Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. So this is like the home trilogy, I guess. I don't know what they're calling it, but
Yep.
but yeah, better than Endgame. I don't know. It's right there next to Endgame and Infinity War, which to me, those two movies with Marvel are on a platform all by itself. It's hard to hit that because there are so many characters, there are so many arcs that are happening all at the same time that are well done. This one is right there, you know, with the emotions, with
Oh my gosh!
the
How you gonna cry so many
nostalgia,
times? How many times am I gonna cry?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
find out.
We'll get into spoilers a little bit, but there's a part of the movie where it's super sad, where you're crying, and if you're not crying, then something's wrong with you. But then it goes from that to being so happy. I mean, people are cheering, literally cheering in the theater, yelling, clapping out of their chairs, clapping, and then it goes back to remind it, hey,
To being sad again, though.
there's
But
this
it
sad
goes,
thing going on, and it's such a quick change in emotions is hard to do, and they did it perfectly. That it made sense the way they had to do it, and it was like that works so much, and I appreciate stuff like that where hard transitions. Well, they did it very, very well. So yeah, kudos for me. What about you, Will?
So for me, I'm also very in tune with the story. I like the story. Earlier off screen, we were talking about the flow of the movie, right? So there was never really a dead part of the movie where I'm like, oh, let me check my phone and you go to get popcorn. No, this is one of those kind of movies where you're like, you have to kind of glue your eyes to the screen because you just don't want to miss anything. So many little Easter eggs here and there, and especially getting to the end of the movie, which we'll talk about in just a hot second. I was super excited to see. I was super excited to see, you know, the cast that we were seeing. So, I mean, for the most part, hey, nice background.
I was looking for a good one.
I like seeing some not so spoiler characters. Do you want to talk about? Hey, Randy.
Yeah, Randy in chat. Well, even
Ole, Randy says hi.
nice.
I already responded.
Yeah, she already responded. You got all our Facebook people talking to each other. That's what I like.
Thanks for joining in.
Yeah,
But
appreciate it.
overall,
So
like,
what were you saying?
even the acting, in my opinion. So Zendaya has been kind of a snarky little, you know, not so deep of a character, but she had her trope, right, which was cool and it was entertaining. But we got a real in-depth, like, emotional breakdown with her, where we're like, oh, we're starting to understand like why she's the way she is. She even mentioned a quick little reference to even to her name, right? Why she's named MJ and it's not Mary Jane. I mean, that's not the biggest spoiler, so you know, if you're mad about that, like, get out of here. No, but like we learned that her name is not Mary Jane, it's something else, and it has some kind of like significance with her overall identity, because she's like, no, I don't associate with that Watson part of the name or whatever. And so it's just, you know, I liked how deep we got with the characters. I mean, we've already kind of gotten deep with everyone on screen, but even with Ned, right? Ned, he had a really big role in this movie, and I loved every second of it. Every second.
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of stuff stood out to you? If you want to talk about scenes, what stood out to you that really like?
Can we say that without giving spoilers?
If you can't think of one, then just say no. That's fine.
It's just so hard. I mean, so everything you want to say is like, well, because of blank, 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 blank. Like, it's just you can't give out, tell everyone about the movie. But I mean, I have to say what you said about the acting. They did great job acting. I mean, honestly, this was. I thought the story was good, but the acting and emotion that was brought out by each character was even better.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even Happy, you know, I don't think it's a spoiler. Happy's in the movie. You see him in the trailer. Yeah, he kind of goes through a few different changes. In, you know,
A lot.
I mean, he's not in it much, but the parts that he is in it, you're like, man, you know, like, and poor Happy, like Happy's been through so much. He was blipped, and then once he comes back from being blipped, you know, you find out like your best friend and your boss and somebody who just was your partner almost, you know, like is gone, you know, and he has a daughter. Can you imagine like you know, coming back and like, oh, hey, yeah, Iron Man saved us. Your best friend, the guy you've known your entire life, saved us. And here's his kid. And you're like, what? You know, and now he's dealing with all the stuff with Peter and everything that happened in the last movie and this and that. You know, just so Happy's character is really good, but even other characters like Doctor Strange, who's obviously a big part of this movie, was well done. You know, and definitely one thing, like, we can watch the trailer, but the trailer is very misleading. So there were parts where I'm like, I wish they didn't show that in the trailer, and there's a lot of parts where I was like, oh, that was a complete like red herring. It's like it's nothing to do with anything.
The fact that Doctor Strange was off screen a long time.
Yeah, and even Ole goes, I thought Doctor Strange was going to have a lot of screen time. I did too. He had important screen time, but it wasn't that much.
Yeah,
it wasn't that much. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. You want to do?
It's just so hard to do it without spoiling anything.
Yeah, let's just get into our ratings and cool. Got it right here. Yeah.
All right, so here at the Nerd Huddle, us spoiler kings, we like to rate movies a little bit differently here. So you see on the screen we have a 3-grade system. So we don't do the whole stars or 4 out of 5 stars. No. You either watch this movie and rate it a watch now, a watch later, or a watch never. A watch now means that this is priority. Drop everything, save all your monies, and watch this movie right now because it's that good. A watch later means, the movie's all right. Put it on the back burner. Maybe watch it when it comes out streaming. And a watch never means don't even give this movie any time of day. It is trash. So with that being said, I want to give our guest of honor, Brian, what do you think this movie falls under? Do you think it's a watch now, later, or never?
Yeah.
Can we say you should have already saw it yesterday? Like your life should have revolved around this already, and you should have already seen like the other 200 million people that already saw this. You need to go see it. So I guess I'll say now, but if I could say in the past, yesterday made better life decisions to go see it, you need to go see it. Yeah.
Should have hit up Bruce Banner with that time machine to watch it.
Exactly.
All right. Cool. What about you, Kramer? What do you think?
I mean, without question now. I mean, we have two of our guys in their huddle, Martin and Mark, and they said they were going to try to be on today as well as Fredo, but I know Fredo already saw it. And they were like, "Oh, we didn't see it." We're like, "Dude, you need to stop whatever you're doing right now and go see it." Like, I don't care. Like, you're watching the Bears game. The Bears are gonna lose. Go watch Spider-Man. Like, there you go, man. Like, there's nothing else more important right now than going and seeing this movie because it's especially if you're a comic book fan, if you're a Marvel fan, if you're an MCU fan, you got to see this movie. You have to see this movie. So yeah, I'm giving it now. What about you, Will?
So years in the making, this movie came out, right? So we've had a lot of, without spoiling, a lot to look forward to with this movie. Even just screenshots of like different parts of the background had me just on the edge and wanting to see this movie. And with all these expectations that I had, I think that this movie is definitely a watch now because it knocked it out of the park with storyline, with the casting, and I say that with high emphasis, and just overall comedy. Like, cause Spider-Man is an action movie, but it's also about the comedy too. And I want to say for sure, a lot of funny moments in this one. So I definitely agree with you both. It's kind of an easy decision, to be honest. I don't think anyone's going to be rating it anything below a watch now. And if you do, we'd love to hear it in the comments and let us know why you think the movie was apart.
All right, so I will say this. My father went and saw it today, and he did not, and he loved the ending, but he didn't think much of the first part of the movie. He thought it was stupid.
Okay.
He thought the whole they made a decision, and he thought the decision was idiotic and stupid, especially after Endgame. And I understand what he said because of what happened in Endgame, the decision should not have been that hard to make. It was made incorrectly, and that's what he didn't like.
Okay,
yeah, I can see that. You know, but I think like how it tries to counter that is it's not Spider-Man trying to save himself, it's Spider-Man trying to save his friends. So it's kind of like if you pull in that emotional part from it where you're like, oh, well, he's doing it for the right reasons. You know, it's still stupid. I agree. It's still not worth it.
I'll go a step further. I don't think it was stupid at all. I think when you put yourself and you empathize with Spider-Man. Oh, I'm not saying anything that people don't know. So Spider-Man is like like an orphan, right? That's being raised by his aunt, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have separation anxiety, right? You have one person taking care of you your whole life. So there's like one person who matters more than anyone else, right?
Yep.
So I don't think it's stupid at all. Without saying anything else, I don't think it's stupid. I think that when you empathize with the situation, it makes total sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too far fetched where you're like, well, that's stupid. Why would they do that? You know, and there's many times in many movies where you're like, that's stupid. That doesn't make any sense. You know, and a lot of times in Marvel movies where they do stuff like that. This one, it's I could see, but also no. Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst thing.
Yeah.
You know, because when it comes to bad things, I can't really think of bad things that the movie did.
I can't think of anything really.
Bad, no, but silly. I can agree that's a little silly.
Yeah, there's silly parts, but I'm like bad parts of the movies where I'm like, why would you do that? Or you know,
Yeah.
either whatever.
Okay, I can't say anything without saying anything, you know. But
all right, we'll get it in a minute. We'll get it in a minute. All right, so also we look at Rotten Tomatoes. So the tomato meter has it at 94%, which is certified fresh, and then the audience is 99%.
99%. That is crazy.
So that's pretty awesome. But there are a few critics who gave it bad reviews. So we have Matthew Lucas, from Matthew Lucas from the Front Row, said it fails as both a film and a piece of storytelling because in its description or in its desperation to give the villains a second chance, it reveals that it has nothing new or interesting to add to the story. Which
really? So we watching the same movie?
I mean, it's And then so
that's all based on this. It's based on the decision. That's all that is. It's based on that. It's the same thing over and over again. But if you can't step outside yourself and realize this is not about your life, but it's about Spider-Man and who he is his life, you know, it just
what a hater. There you go. Yeah,
that's why. Hey, that's why I told my dad too. I was like, man, you a hater.
So here's one more. Is Kyle Smith from the National Review. I'm not meaning to hate on these guys. I mean, if they're a hater, they're a hater, you know, but it's also their opinion. Right. But he said it's all dumb gimmicks, sci-fi gobbledygook, and digital spectacle, and the central love story is such an afterthought that the young couple, Tom and Zendaya, barely spend any time together. But also that's the issue of being Peter Parker. Exactly.
Is the balance of personal life and superhero. Yeah, that's the whole
exactly. I mean, if we watched the Spider-Man from 2002, and at the end of that one, Mary Jane, Kristen Dunst, is like, "I love you. I want to be with you," and he's like, "Awesome." No, you know, because he knows I have to be Spider-Man, and that's more important than being with you. Which sucks, you know. Eventually they figure it out, but same thing with this one. You know, he makes a decision where it's like, you know, like being Spider-Man is more important. You know,
no, that's not what. Don't say that.
Now,
don't say that.
I didn't want to spoil too much about it, but the biggest one is the Hollywood Reporter. They're just saying it's a bad movie and this one sucks. This is the worst of all the Spider-Man movies. I'm paraphrasing. That's not their exact words, but they're just like, out of all the Spider-Man, this is the worst one. And I was like, are you insane? Insane.
Did you see the Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah. So, you know, they're drinking the haterade. That's what Oli said. And also, before we go into some spoilers, we got Joel. Sorry, he came in right when we were doing our reviews. He said Ned's mom / grandma, which they don't really say it. I don't know. Ask
they
Coley.
didn't
She saw it like
say.
4 times. Did she
Hey,
say
is that
like?
Ned's grandma? Is that his mom?
This is
Does he
grandma.
call her
He said it
mom?
was his grandma.
This is grandma.
Did it? Okay. Yeah.
Suppose
This
it's
is grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said
So she was awesome.
funny.
She was awesome. I just like she was really really cool. I, getting not only getting spoilers yet, but she was just like, this is okay. I'm not bothered by any of this. Like, that's just like her life, So it makes me wonder is like how much does Ned tell her? Where she just wasn't affected. Same thing with like
That's
you
a
go
good
back
question.
to Hawkeye.
she
Hawkeye
was
and his
like,
wife-
I'm going upstairs. I'm just going upstairs.
Yeah,
come
you know,
when
like,
it's
so-
over.
The kids do what you're gonna do.
So that makes me wonder is like does Ned and her have a good relationship where he tells her everything, because who's she gonna go around telling like, hey, Peter Parker's Spider-Man, like ain't no one gonna believe her anyway. Well, until that point. But yeah, so man, let's